Mickell Dunn. No parent wants to, Michael, overreact in this world of wokeness, but with what's going on in public schools across the country, it's better to overreact than underreact. I welcome you to the program, and I also welcome you being a voice of this one. How are you, sir?
I'm doing great.
Let's get into this and let you tell the story here, first of all. And if you don't mind, just recant the story. You're in the Water Valley school system. You have a child or children in that school system. The book is called The Perks of Being a Wallflower. I understand it's being made into or has been made into a movie. And this is not about the movie. This is about the book itself. So you take it from here and tell us how this started.
All right. This started, The Perks of Being a Wallflower was given as a reading assignment to the English 3 class, which is a group of 11th graders. So you're talking 15, 16-year-old children.
Mm-hmm.
And my son came to me and expressed concerns about the book. And I sat down and read the book, and I understood why he was concerned about the book. It has a lot of homosexual relationships. It has other physical and emotional relationships. It deals with smoking and drinking and cussing and drugs. It deals with suicide, and all this stuff is depicted in the book as being normal and acceptable. And as we know through data and stuff, that any of that kind of stuff is detrimental in school. Yeah. And if anything else, it increases our dropout rate and doesn't do anything to encourage children to stay in school and do what's right. So I went to the school, talked to the principal and superintendent about my concerns. They gave my son a different reading assignment. They eventually gave the entire class a different assignment, and then the assignment was dropped altogether for this year. And I thought I had achieved my goal. And then I see in the paper that they said they had reviewed the book, and after reviewing, they gave the teacher permission to continue to teach this book next year. So then I went to the school board, and I talked to the school board about the book, and the school board said, well, what they were going to do is require parental signed consent to check it out of the library. It's in the school library. So that would, in their idea, prevent it from being read by the 12th graders, that it would also be given to, 7th through 12th grade in our public school here. But that didn't alleviate the fact that it's going to be taught next year to our 11th grade English class again. So now that's why I'm here on the radio, and I'll be back at the school board this coming month to plead my case again.
I don't know anything about you or what you do, but my understanding in asking a few people, and I don't think it's only you, are other parents on board with this also?
Yes, I've talked to many parents in the community. Yep. A lot of them are concerned about this book. Last month at the board meeting, I had about 20 parents show up with me to express their concern about this being taught.
So when you look at it, I think the one thing I want people across the state to understand, Michael was trying to, I think, tell you that this, I've been around a long time, I'm well read, I know what I'm talking about, this is above and beyond normal. This is how you look at it, and as Senator Kennedy just said in that promo, when you see porn, you know what it is. And exactly. I think that's what you're trying to say. This is not normal. This has no place in a high school. And if it did have a place at 12th grade, it would be marginal, and you could find a hell of a lot of other things to replace it. Is that basically the synopsis of that?
That's exactly right, because when I expressed my concern, they found another book immediately to replace that with. And I've read part of the other book. I didn't read the entire book that they replaced it with, but just scanning through it and reading part of it, it's much better written, and I mean, it would be a much better book to use to replace this one altogether.
Yeah. Who makes the decision to put those books in that library?
That I can't find out. No one can tell me how the process works to get the books in the library.
Mm-hmm.
Neither will they tell me what process we have to go through to get it out of the library.
I also want to ask you this, because I think you said in the notes we were sending back and forth that a 12-year-old could actually check this out.
Well, if you look at the age of children in the school, you have 12 and 13-year-olds coming to the 7th grade, and that library in the high school is open to 7th through 12th grade children at our school anyway.
I got to believe that this book is probably available in some other schools in our state also, so parents might want to take a look at that to either online, if there's some information online, or if you think it's in your school, go take a look at it there. But you also got to wonder how many other books are like that, and have they made their way into the state? And I'm sure they've been here for a long time, and probably people have not said too much about it. But the next generation of these books seem to get even worse and closer to pushing the envelope. Certainly now with things like wokeness and drag shows and things such as that.
Well, it's not only that. The page that actually 2 pages I read to the school board deals with a graphic explanation and a depiction of a rape of a young girl witnessed by a young boy. And I can't understand how that could be appropriate in our school, where maybe some girl sitting in the classroom may have had that happen to her. Now she has to relive that whole scene right there again. And the boys in the classroom are right there discussing it back and forth too. And maybe the boy that that raped her is sitting right beside her. And now they have to sit there and discuss this. I can't see how that's any kind of emotional support for either or of them.
I can't either. Plus the fact, I think the number one question I have is, what is the value of that in an educational institution? What is the value that you're going to teach these kids with everything else needing to be taught with math and everything else? What is the value you're going to bring to this child with pushing the envelope with that book? That your son or daughter is going to come away better educated because of that.
There is no literary value in the book at all. I've spoke with our public library here who doesn't carry the book, and I asked them about it, and they said that they review books when they're published. This one was published back in '94, and it was probably reviewed by them. He said he doesn't have that actual data, but it's probably reviewed by them back then. And they chose not to buy the book and put it in the public library, in his words, because it had no literary value.
Yeah.
And if it had no literary value then, I can't believe it's gotten literary value since then. So the fact that they're teaching it or using it as a teaching tool just surprises me. And I can't understand, in a supposedly community value or Christian community value here, and the morals that we should have, or I thought we had, how this book could ever be deemed appropriate for children.
Michael, what's the next step? What's next for you? You said you're going to go back to the school board?
Get more support, get more parents, and go back to the school board and try to get this removed from the school curriculum.
Would you keep us informed, sir? Along the way, we'd love to follow and see what the progress is on this one. We'd appreciate it.
I'll keep you updated.
You got it. Mickell Dunn. Michael, thank you for speaking out. We encourage parents all across the entire state. And again, look at see if the book is available to your kids in your library. Ask your school board member. They were voted in there. And again, it's called The Perks of Being a Wallflower. More coming up.